Are you thinking about getting a pool but can't decide between salt water and chlorine? Well, you're in the right place to find out which is the best option for you. Let's splash into the details and discover the pros and cons of each type, so you can make the best choice for endless summer fun. A saltwater pool might sound like you're swimming in the ocean, but it's actually quite different and quite special. Despite its name, a saltwater pool still relies on chlorine to keep the water clean and safe for swimming. The key player here is a device called a salt chlorine generator. This isn't just any gadget, it's a sophisticated piece of equipment that transforms plain old salt, the kind you might use in your kitchen, into chlorine. Here's how it happens. You add pool-grade salt to the water, which then flows through the salt chlorine generator. During this process, the generator uses an electrical reaction called electrolysis to break down the salt molecules and produce chlorine. This chlorine then sanitizes the pool, effectively killing bacteria and other harmful germs. After sanitizing the water, the chlorine converts back into salt, and the cycle repeats. Not only does this make the pool easier to maintain, avoiding the need to handle harsh chemical chlorine, but it also keeps the chlorine levels more stable and gentle on your skin and eyes. Thus, a saltwater pool provides the cleanliness of a chlorine pool with a smoother, more automated system. Many people opt for saltwater pools because they offer a number of enticing benefits that make swimming a more enjoyable and less hassling experience. One of the standout features of saltwater pools is the soft and silky quality of the water. This unique sensation is due to the gentle way in which chlorine is produced and dispersed in the pool, making it far less harsh on your skin and eyes compared to traditional chlorine pools. Additionally, because the chlorine is generated on-site from salt through a process known as electrolysis, the levels of chlorine in the water remain more consistent. This stability prevents the wide fluctuations common in chlorine pools that can lead to irritation and discomfort. With a saltwater system, you generally only need to add salt to your pool a few times a year, depending on rainfall and pool usage. This is a significant reduction in maintenance compared to chlorine pools, where chlorine must be added regularly to maintain safe and clean water. Chlorine pools are the more traditional choice and have been the standard for pool sanitation for decades. They rely on chlorine tablets or granules that you manually add to the pool to keep the water clean and safe for swimming. This method is well known for its effectiveness in killing bacteria and other pathogens that can thrive in pool water. The routine with chlorine pools involves a straightforward but consistent maintenance schedule. Pool owners must regularly check the chlorine levels and add the appropriate amount of chlorine to maintain a safe and hygienic swimming environment. This might mean adding chlorine weekly or even more frequently, depending on the pool's usage and exposure to elements like sunlight and rain, which can diminish chlorine levels. While this method does require more frequent attention than a saltwater system, it allows for more control over the pool's chemical balance. Chlorine pools are generally less expensive to set up compared to saltwater pools because they don't require specialized equipment like salt chlorine generators. Maintaining a pool is crucial for ensuring a clean and safe swimming environment, but the type of pool you choose can significantly impact the amount of maintenance required. Saltwater pools are known for their ease of maintenance compared to traditional chlorine pools. The salt chlorine generator in saltwater pools automates the process of chlorine production, which means less frequent manual adjustments are needed. Once the system is properly calibrated, it continuously recycles the salt in the water into chlorine, keeping the levels stable and reducing the need for regular monitoring. On the other hand, chlorine pools require a more hands-on approach. Pool owners must regularly test the water and add chlorine tablets or granules to maintain effective sanitization levels. This can mean weekly or even daily maintenance tasks, especially during peak swimming seasons or after heavy pool usage. The frequency of these tasks can make chlorine pools more labor-intensive, as fluctuations in chlorine levels must be promptly addressed to prevent algae growth and maintain water clarity. The choice between salt water and chlorine pools often comes down to a trade-off between initial setup costs and ongoing maintenance efforts. While saltwater systems may require a higher initial investment, they can offer a more hands-off approach over time, which might be appealing to those looking for convenience. Thinking about the long-term costs associated with saltwater versus chlorine pools can help you make a more informed decision. Initially, the setup for a saltwater pool tends to be more costly. Once the system is up and running, the ongoing costs can be lower than those of chlorine pools because you're not regularly buying chlorine, which can be quite expensive over time. Despite these savings, saltwater pool owners are not completely free from additional expenses. The salt cell, a critical component of the salt chlorine generator, has a finite lifespan and typically needs to be replaced every 3 to 7 years. This replacement can be costly, and the need for specialized labor to carry out the installation. On the other hand, while chlorine pools may be cheaper to set up, the recurring cost of chlorine supplies and more frequent chemical balancing add up, making them potentially more expensive in the long run. Therefore, while saltwater pools have higher initial costs, their long-term maintenance expenses could be offset by the reduced need for chemical purchases. Thanks for diving in with us today. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more pool care tips, and swim into a healthy pool season.